Hey parents, okay, so today's day 4. I hope the last 4 days you've been getting a lot of impact and information, and we have been answering your questions. So today we're going to start on your fears of homeschooling. So I had a lot of fears of homeschooling when I first started, and some of them were, am I going to screw my kid up? Are they going to get behind kids their age? How are they going to socialize? Can I do it? Am I able to teach my children? So many, uncertainties. But let's dig into them, okay? Um, for the socialization, fear, are your kids gonna be able to socialize? Listen, my kids, like, they are so good at socializing with other people. They actually get out more than I believe most kids do. We're going on a lot of trips and vacations and field trips, and they get to see family more because we have a freed up schedule. And I truly believe that really does help with their socialization because they're able to be themselves. But for you guys, a way to actually help with that is to plug into a co-op. And a co-op is where some homeschooling families get together, maybe once a week or once a month, and the kids all get together. And sometimes it could be like a little school day or just a play day. So it all depends on your co-op. And the way you can find that is, if you already don't have one, is to go on Facebook and go to your state's homeschooling Facebook group. Go ahead and find that. So say you live in Texas, go ahead and find homeschooling in Texas, something on that line. There's probably a bunch of them in your state, even maybe your county or your city. You look for that. And then once you find that target location, that area, go ahead and just put in that you know you're looking for people in this town or whatever, whoever homeschool, and then hopefully you'll find a tribe that way. Another way is to find a local Christian Christian camp. And so I actually have where I am, there's a Christian camp where you can actually go camping and stuff like that. And this camp actually offers co-ops and homeschooling activities, like they do horseback riding and sports and stuff of that nature. So go ahead and look for those. It might be an hour or so away from your house, but totally worth it. The kids would love it. So just get plugged in and don't worry about it, Just take one day at a time. So the next fear of not being able to teach your kids. So I had this fear, and I came to realize that they have been learning from me their whole lives. I am their main teacher. I am their main influence. Everything they practically know is because either we taught them or they learned it from us, from our actions or whatever we did. And so, our kids are like sponges, and so they're learning from you already. And so don't be afraid of that. They're going to learn from you. Their talking habits came from you. Most things they know is from you. So you can teach them. But if your kid is in a more advanced grade and maybe math or something isn't your specialty, or creative writing or whatever it may be, and you're not feeling comfortable that you can help them reach their goals, you can hire a tutor. That's always a great way to go. Just go ahead and get a tutor. And if you got a course, some courses offer online classes with that. So there's always ways around it. So I would not fear that at all. They are saying in a study that, let's go through my notes here, that homeschoolers in a short amount of time learn more, than regular kids that go to school. And so, for instance, in my family, we'll homeschool for an hour or two, right, a day, and they'll learn what most kids learn in a day or two at school because it's one-on-one, and so they learn so much more in a short amount of time. So let's hit another fear here. Can you afford it? Can you afford a homeschool? Wow, I had this thought because when I was looking at curriculum, it could get very expensive, and if you're not sure on what to do, what you can do is just create your own, put together things. Or actually this year for my son going to first grade, I actually know somebody because I had asked around, and the curriculum that I want to use, they're actually didn't really use it from the year prior because they had bought first grade for their son, and it ends up that he was more advanced than they realized, and he was actually in second grade. So they're actually going to give, I'm getting that off of them. And so there's always ways around it. And I can actually send a link to, if you have a younger kid, like preschool age to kindergarten, on a curriculum that I got that was a pretty good deal, like I said to you guys, and that's just for writing and reading. And there's always ways around it, okay? You can just ask, once you get in a homeschooling group, just put out the questions. Anyone have this or that, whatever you're looking for? And I'm sure, seek and you shall find, okay? So I would not worry about that at all. And actually some courses do offer payment plans, I do believe. So that is an option. And you can't really put a price on, your kids' education and the time you're going to have with them. And so it's all just like perspective and then just knowing where to reach out to. And let's see what other fears we have here. Are you not organized enough to do this? I was not organized enough to do this. I am now a little better, but I definitely had that. And so at first I had to set like a schedule, like a school schedule, because I was schooled, I wasn't homeschooled, and so in my brain this is how I saw school had to be, and so I try to model my homeschooling after that. And that did not work well for my children. They did not like that. So once we got into a more organic setting at home at the kitchen table and learning just by what they were interested in, and I stopped raising, like, I'd have them like, if you have a question, you ask your teacher, you say Mrs. Moser and raise your hand. Like, that's how I taught my kids in the beginning. I don't do that anymore, but that's okay if you do it. It's okay. But that's what I did. And I was just trying to organize, and like this time it's this thing, and this time it's this subject, and then, and then writing every day out, which is good. You definitely need some structure, but anyway, if I can do it, you can do it. Just learn as you go. Take day by day, step by step, and don't get overwhelmed. Okay, and this really is a day by day thing. And one day your kid interest might change to another, and so then you model your day after that, and so you can do it. You can be organized enough. And then there's some really great videos on YouTube you can look up for organization with homeschooling. And tomorrow, I believe, we might touch base on some scheduling stuff, so we'll see about that. All right, so what other fear do we have here? What do you do, like, if your kids are getting frustrated and you're getting frustrated and you just feel overwhelmed and you can't do it? One thing that we do in our household is, if I'm getting frustrated, like, hold your pencil, right, do this, whatever it may be, we take a break, take a deep breath, I go put music on, and as soon as I put music on, it changes the whole atmosphere. And so just changing the atmosphere when you feel frustrated, your kids frustrated, change the atmosphere. Go outside quickly, go for a walk, or just go outside, and then come back in and regroup, change the atmosphere, okay? And another way is maybe pick up a storybook, whatever, or a book of whatever they're reading. You pick it up and read it to them, and they'll be hearing it, and they learn by hearing, and so that's a great way. So we always just, when I get frustrated and overwhelmed, right away change the atmosphere, and it makes our day so much better. And I feel like these were all the fears that I had to deal with. Now, if there's something else that you feel like we need to touch base on, I want you to go ahead and reach out to us here on our Facebook group and write out, just put down your question that you may have, and we'll get it answered for you. But I do want to say, if you have a fear of messing your kid up, I'm going to tell you, you're not going to mess your kid up, because it's the fact that you even thought that you're afraid to mess your kid up means you love them enough to not do it. Okay? Because most parents out there, if you're thinking, oh gosh, I don't want to mess my kid up, you're not going to, because you love them enough to even think that thought. So you won't. Just love them unconditionally. Move towards what their interests are. You guys are going to have a great homeschooling year. I know you will, because you're here in this training and you're already looking for answers. So this is the end of day 4, and I'm so happy you watched the last 4 days. This has been amazing. Well, tomorrow, let's just go ahead and we're going to do a questionnaire, a Q&A. And I want you just to put down your questions, whatever you have. If something we didn't answer for you this week, which there very well may be, go ahead and put it out, and we're going to answer it tomorrow or over the weekend if you don't get to see this. And we're here to help you, okay? Whatever fears you have, They're no more. You can do this. All right, guys, have a great day.